Alright, so more Wisconsin news that shocks me in a very, very good way. So, birth control could be prescribed by Let's try that again. Birth control could be prescribed and dispensed by pharmacists in Wisconsin under a bill that passed the Republican-controlled state assembly on Wednesday with broad bipartisan support. There must be a lot of Republicans up for re-election that are scared shitless of losing their seat or something, because there's been reasonable things happening. I do not understand this. The GOP authored measure, which has drawn criticism from anti-abortion groups, next heads to the Senate, where a similar measure stalled last session. But the bill's sponsor, Republican Representative Joel Kitchens, has said he's optimistic it will get a Senate vote this time, although some Democrats are concerned it won't pass. Under current state law, women can only obtain most birth control through a prescription written by a doctor or advanced practice nurse. Is that a nurse practitioner? What the hell is an advanced practice nurse? Anyway, this marks the first time the bill has come up since Wisconsin's 1849 law banning abortion went back into effect after last year's U.S. Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade. Republicans and their anti-abortion allies, who suffered a series of defeats in ballot questions in states across the political spectrum since that ruling, are tackling the issue nationwide in a variety of ways. Now, what I don't understand is this is birth control. This is to prevent pregnancy. This has nothing to do with abortion. So why are anti-abortion groups opposed to this? That basically screams that this is not about abortion. This is about punishing women for daring to have sex. Because, oh my God, she might, if she has sex, she deserves to get pregnant, and whatever horrible things come out of that pregnancy, she deserves. Because why else be against birth control? I just do not understand this. In addition to the bill on pharmacist birth control, Wisconsin Republicans also introduced a measure that would create rape and incest exceptions under that state's abortion ban. Democratic Governor Tony Evers has vowed to veto anything that doesn't return state law to how it was before Roe v. Wade was overturned. Like I've said before, when this came up, it's great that they want to introduce this. I think I mentioned this last year. It's great that they want to introduce the exceptions, but it's really none of their goddamn business what a woman does, because you don't know her circumstance. You do not know you do not know medicine. So why are you telling doctors how to practice medicine? It just, yeah. Evers backed a lawsuit brought by the state's attorney general, a fellow Democrat, that seeks to overturn Wisconsin's abortion ban. That case is expected to ultimately be decided by the state Supreme Court, which flips from conservative to liberal control in August. Well, I finally got that question answered. The winning liberal Supreme Court candidate in an April election ran as a supporter of abortion rights. I hate that term because we are not pro-abortion. We are not. Republicans behind the bill allowing pharmacists to prescribe and dispense common birth control pills and hormonal contraceptive patches say it is a way to prevent more unwanted pregnancies. You don't say. It's only like we've been saying that forever. I mean, why should you listen to women and doctors that birth control prevents birth? prevents pregnancy. Wow! It's as if they just figured shit out that people have known for years. Anyway, the measure, which Democrats have introduced in the past, passed the Assembly on an 82-11 vote. All of the no votes were Republicans. Well, at least something. some sense of normalcy has remained. It must pass both the Senate and Assembly and be signed by Evers before taking effect. Republican Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu did not immediately return an email seeking comment. I certainly am pessimistic about that bill making it through the Senate, said Democratic State Representative Lisa Subeck, who joined with fellow Democrats in proposing a bill Wednesday that would make access to birth control a right under state law. It certainly seems to be a showpiece for Assembly Republicans that they can't get their Senate colleagues to buy into. Evers supports the bill and would sign it into law should it pass the legislature, his spokesperson Britt Kudabak said. A wide array of groups support the measure, including the Pharmacy Society of Wisconsin, the Wisconsin chapter of the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, the Wisconsin Association of Local Health Departments and Boards, the Wisconsin Public Health Association, and the Wisconsin Primary Health Care Association. Opponents include Pro-Life Wisconsin, which again, what life are we preventing here? I mean, if you're going to say that birth control is bad, then you should go after women every time they menstruate, because that's just an egg that never got fertilized and is being flushed out of the system. So, seriously, why birth control? The Wisconsin Catholic Conference, which again doesn't surprise me, I now have the song from Monty Python, Every Sperm is Sacred, stuck in my head, and Wisconsin Family Action. Now, I get the religious grounds. I do, because this idea that every pregnancy is a gift from God and blah, 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 as if every gift from God is something precious and should be accepted under any and all circumstances, and which there's a lot of gifts that God gives that I would question whether that's a real gift. Some people might see it as a gift, which is fine. You know, I'm not saying that you can't see it as a gift from God. You want to do that? Fine. I don't care. But not everybody sees it that way. Even those who are religious don't necessarily see it that way. So, great if that's the way you see the world, but you can't force other people to see the world that way. As I've mentioned before, there's more than one way to human. And your religious beliefs are not the gold standard of how to human. And I'm not saying Christians, because not all Christians think this way. Hell, not all Republicans think this way. It's just a small group of people, a very loud minority group of people, but still, it's a small group of people who think this way. And if that's how you feel, then when you get pregnant, don't have an abortion. Unfortunately, many of these groups who do go into a hissy fit are the same type of people who, when they were to have an unwanted pregnancy, would just sneak away and have an abortion in silence. Let's just quietly have an abortion and not tell anyone, but let's tell people abortions are bad. Because, it's not like hypocrisy is in the Bible or anything. So, yeah, I'm I give credit where credit is due. There are Republicans who do understand that the best way to prevent those evil abortions that you want to prevent is to prevent unwanted pregnancy. And to prevent unwanted pregnancy, you need to push birth control. So yeah, I'm all for this bill. Um, it sounds like it's not going to pass the Senate, which sucks, but you know, just keep at it, because this is polls have shown that a majority of Republicans are also pro-choice. So this isn't a partisan issue. And so this isn't an anomaly that these Republicans are, you know, understand that there has to be some way to prevent unwanted pregnancies that is acceptable. And this is what they find acceptable, and that's fine. Personally, they should not be, oh, I don't know, involved at all in these matters, because again, they are not physicians, and they are not the person who is sexually active who could potentially get pregnant. So, yeah, I am 100% behind this, and hopefully this time it'll pass session. I am worried. Like I said, I do not know if this will pass Senate. There's a lot of question as to whether it will. But just the fact that they're keeping at it is definitely a good sign. So I'm going to stop rambling, and I will see you guys in the next video.